Verbal bullying. Calling people names by teasing them or threatening them by voice or written word.
Cyberbullying. Bullying that occurs through interactive technologies such as social media, cell phones, and other websites.
Social bullying. This includes leaving someone out of a group or spreading rumors about them.
Physical bullying. Attacking somebody by hitting, kicking, or punching them.
Absolutely. For us here at the federal level, we simply have not taken the problem of bullying seriously enough. Too often, bullying gets shrugged off. And all of you have heard the excuses. You've heard the lineup of reasons to minimize the gravity of bullying and to dismiss the potential effective programs to reduce it.
Bullying is an epidemic in which in extreme cases can cause the justice system to be involved in order to make peace or solve the particular issue at hand. Bullying is commonly found throughout the school system where most children, teenagers, and young adults are oppressed and harassed because of their natural structure, such as their personality, sexuality, appearance, and or disabilities. The definition of bullying is widely agreed on in literature. It is a type of aggression in which the behavior of a person is intended to harm or disturb another. This behavior occurring repeatedly over time, forcing an imbalance of power, attacking on a less powerful person with verbal, physical, or psychological aggression.
I know in 2008, a couple of days before Christmas, I was involved in an incident which caused me to have a few scarring on my body. And when I returned back to school, this was like in the 6th grade, I got teased a lot for it by some of my classmates and other kids, so it was kind of like verbal bullying.
As far as teacher education, I think teachers would benefit from having more training around how to prevent bullying, what steps that should be taken. And I think the conversation should include counselors as well as the other support staff. I think that everyone should be trained for that. That should be part of teacher education, counseling education, or just staff education overall. There should be professional development around it. I think so that everyone can actually know what steps they can take to prevent it.
Bullying can have destructive consequences for our young people. And it's not something we have to accept. As parents and students, as teachers and members of the community, we can take steps, all of us, to help prevent bullying and create a climate in our schools in which all of our children can feel safe. A climate in which they all can feel like they belong.
Imagine every day not wanting to go to school because you're scared of getting bullied. Being pummeled by your peers, being seen as an outsider and feeling like you've been tossed out of society. Bullying impacts the school experience. Their environment can become one of fear and disrespect, disabling the ability of students to learn. When faculty does not take action, the entire school can be affected. Students begin to feel insecure about themselves, and when students don't see the adults acting to prevent the situation, they may begin to feel that teachers and other school staff have little concern and may not care about what happens to them. This is what makes students afraid to go to school. Trauma develops where there is extreme stress coupled with a sense of helplessness, which no student should ever feel. Often, these feelings turn to anger, which with no natural outlet can result into experiences of depression, low self-esteem, self-hate, and suicidal thoughts, or they may lash out in violent ways, the most serious being school shootings. Robin Shimzu, a middle school student from California who killed himself after being bullied for being the only boy cheerleader. School officials said that they followed protocol to resolve the issue, but when friends of Robin say different and say that the bullying continued, this should be a wake-up call. In 2008, Jessica Logan was an Ohio high school senior who committed suicide after sexting a nude photo of herself to her boyfriend. When they broke up, he sent the photo to everyone else at her school. Daniel Perry, a 17-year-old from Scotland, jumped to his death due to harassment on his Ask FM page. Users were telling him to kill himself because his Skype conversations were shown on Twitter where he was blackmailed.
There's a lot of research that shows the long-lasting effects that it can have on somebody throughout their life, definitely mentally, definitely emotionally, and even physically because of the stress that it can cause for somebody.
And it's very easy for us to say just ignore it. For those students who are emotionally strong enough to ignore it, then they can get through it. But a lot of students aren't emotionally strong enough to just ignore the bullying, especially when it becomes extreme.
There could be a lot more than what's being done now.
Bullying involves everybody, and if that's the case, we need to stop bullying once and for all. Although there are state laws that go against bullying, they're not targeting the matter at hand. If we speak up and defend one another, we can create a community of activists, political figures, policemen, and more instead of America's Most Wanted. If there is nothing done, then we can expect a future of chaos and crime. This problem can only be resolved by complete comprehension of bullying.
Now, we challenge Congress to pass a legislation so we can stop these epidemics and tragic losses of lives. This is a movement that we as people of America need to take control of. It's a game of telephone. Pass the word and make it aware. Bullying stops here.